Yo. Yo. Let's get it in, Bulldoggers. Let's get it in. It's Wednesday, July 1st. We got the 4th of July weekend coming up. And, just want to get up on here real quick and, kick it with y'all for a minute. Who's in the building? Hit the like button. We in here. Burning Star, I see you, brother. Sean Berry, I see you. Game Dog University, I see you. What up, my brother? Glad everybody live and well, doing good. We ain't really got nothing much going on today. 1978, Lloyd, I see you, my brother. What we cooking? Hey, man, we gonna cook this blunt. We gonna cook this blunt, brother. Come on, man. We cooking this motherfucking blunt, man. What up, Oaktown? Oaktown, West Coast. You know it's the West is the best. You on the West, you the best, brother. What up? Yeah, man. We got a little bit to cook on, though. You know what I'm saying? We got a good little bit to cook on. If you guys in the chat, I'm gonna be looking through the chat, just getting you guys' answers and whatnot. But let's start it off with what trait is the hardest to reproduce consistently? What trait is the hardest to reproduce consistently? Let me get my lighter and let's get it going. We'll just start there. He said, can we get why people keep selling low-level puppies, same price as high drive pups? Sean Berry, man, great question. We're gonna definitely cook on that. I do this all the time. And to me, it's got a lot to do with the fact that it's so trendy. Okay, not even on COVID times, but even before COVID, with the access of social media, people are able to branch out and get those dogs out there. When back in the day, it's like, when you were looking for a dog, you're gonna go ask one of your OGs. Like, hey, man, where can I get some good dogs? They're going to say, hey, man, it's old man, or, such and such got some dogs, or, whatever. And you pretty much going to follow their lead and, get you a couple. If you like them, you continue to deal with the guy. If not, or, even if you wanted to add something else to the program, you're probably just going to go somewhere else and test out the waters. But most likely it'll be somebody that you see and they on a higher level than just the average novice social media, right? I've been telling you guys this time and time again. You got a lot of breeders that are in this game that they just started this. They just started breeding their dog. Their dogs aren't even of maturity, just like the last video that I dropped, right? A lot of these dogs haven't hit maturity. And the breeder hasn't hit maturity, right? I think another question is, why are people buying these dogs off of low-level guys that don't have 10 years in, they don't have 20 years in, right? I'm not saying that you can't get that guy that's got 5 years in and get something really nice, right? But you're set a high risk though. Right? You might get something nice. They might got some good blood. A lot of times you can bully your way in this game, spend a whole bunch of money, and, you know the rest, right? But overall, if us as a community, if we don't support these type of breeders, then they won't have a chance to sell those type of dogs. You know what I'm saying? Garlic cookies. Man, that sounds good, bro. I'm mad. Now I'm smoking some good though. I'm smoking some good right now. I'm smoking some good. Um, so when they got that social media, they get to post their dogs every day, post pictures of the puppies and all this grifting and all of this. Oh yeah, and all of this and just so romantic. Just like damn, dude, are you screwing these dogs? That's what I be wanting to know, bro. Like, dude, what are you doing over there with these damn dogs, bro? You know, trying to get them off and everything they get to see, and all this, and they're goaltending a lot of the sales. They're goaltending a lot of the sales. I mean, we talk about how many sales Tom Garner gets, and all of this. People could speculate, and nobody really knows. He probably don't even know or care, right? But at the end of the day, we got new guys, and you might be a victim of this, but you gonna buy a dog off a guy that he don't even have 5 years in to even know what a trait is. What trait is the hardest to reproduce consistently? A guy that doesn't know this, right? What is it? Mouth, wind, intelligence, recovery, temperament? What are we talking about right now, huh? Gameness and intelligence, in my opinion. Vernon Starr with the comment. Appreciate you, my brother. Okay. Why do some traits skip generations, right? That's why I like families of dogs. Yeah, you're not gonna get all tens, but if I deal with this family, right? You might got a family in your neighborhood and they all could fight, right? All the motherfuckers could fight. The little one, the big brother could fight. They daddy. We seen the daddy catch a fade back in the day. He could fight. Even mama whooped on somebody. Had to come up to the school and whoop on somebody. Sometimes you just got a family that is just good fighter. They're just with the shit. Okay? Hold on, let me turn my monetization on. My channel been struggling, boy. So we're gonna capitalize on this moment, right? Get this monetization in. You guys hit the like button, let people know we here. It kind of sends out the signal, if you know what I mean. On, manual, automatic. Yeah, let's keep it on a moderate way. You guys make sure you support the channel. Hold up. Okay, there we go. We good. We good. Okay, he said, I read your magazine, your recent magazine. When it comes to traits, you have a low and a high of the traits. If someone buys the high level trait, don't try to sell me some pet quality for the same price like I'm cheap. I got you. I got you. See, you're right. And that has to do with the consumer as well, Sean Berry. Some people, they want that discount. They want the hand-me-down. They want, they don't mind. But then you got some guys that they want the absolute best. They don't care if they have to pay more because what they're feeding and the time out that they're taking out of their schedule to try to develop this yard, and they know it could take 10 or 20 years. So when you get to that 10, 20 year mark, you don't want to have average dogs. If I'm gonna start today, today is my first day getting in these dogs. I don't want average dogs. I don't want to get 20 years down the road, for one, not to have nothing to show for all the 20 years of work that I put in, but to get to that end of the road, to still be looking for this, still looking for gameness, still looking for mouth, still looking for wind, still looking for recovery, still looking for temperament, right? That's just not gonna fly with some people. And then some people, they'll just kind of get along gang, kind of, willy-nilly, just kind of float through and just basically accept whatever outcome that comes your way, instead of going out there and seeking and, with intention. Right? Right? Social media has done a number on these dogs, And I'm not going to say it's a good thing when we still got guys posting one-time winners and shit. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? What are we doing? Whatever happened to you not being so damn happy about shit all the time? Whatever happened to that? Are those guys still around? Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm not really just happy about every goddamn thing, man. I'm not gonna just post everything, bro. Right? I don't really post my cars. I don't really, there's a lot of things that, a lot of people will post. When I bought my house, I didn't post that on Facebook. Me holding the key in front of the goddamn house, letting everybody know where you live and all this dumb shit with this big ass key, you and your girl holding it and shit. Like, bro, what the hell do we need to take a picture of every damn thing for, man? It's like you're never gonna have any good moments, right? So you got a one-time winner. Wow, wow, like this is, it's illegal, right? They're throwing people under the bus for these dogs on a consistent basis. Let me add that part in there. Smash the like, is free. Right? It's illegal to post winners and to have winners and to fight dogs and to engage in illegal activity. But we still got guys that got that scarcity mindset. Success is so scarce in their life that they feel they have to document every single thing, bro. Come on. Come on. So what trait is the hardest to reproduce? I think this is a question that can't never be answered, right? Is it gameness? Is it really hard to reproduce gameness if your dogs are actually game, right? If I'm breeding game dogs, these dogs are game, they come off a game stock. Okay? And you breed them together, right? You're reproducing it, right? You're not just trying to produce it, you're reproducing it. Reproduce in my head means that I already have it and I'm going to reproduce it. I'm going to create more of it. More of it, more effectiveness. I'm not breeding to lower the caliber of dogs that these dogs are. Okay? I'm just saying. Would you rather own one legendary dog? This is for the chat. Would you rather own one legendary dog or an entire legendary family of dogs, right? Let that soak in. What would you rather do? Somebody answer that, and we'll move on. Would you rather own one legendary dog or an entire legendary family of dogs? That should be easy to put together. But the guy that doesn't have the patience, I could see him wanting one legendary dog. He wants one. Right? Because he doesn't have the patience. He's going to ruin a lot of that stock along the way. So he's not even going to know if it's a family of legendary dogs or not, because he's never going to sit on the dogs long enough to be legendary. He's never going to not breed that male before he's 18 months. Right? And everybody's always keeping them all, right? Is that the sales pitch? I'm keeping them all. People feel entitled. They feel that just because they're doing breedings, that everybody should just go stop what they're doing, stop all the research that they've been doing, and just go buy their dogs. For what? For what, man? Mike Dan, help me, Mike Dan. Help me. Help me. Havoc, what up, brother? Union County Kennels. He said family of dogs. Family for sure. He said, I don't have the patience. I'll take one legend. I don't care if he isn't wrong. And look, that's gonna be the choice. You're not the only one that's gonna make that. See, you're just bold enough to admit it, right? Sometimes, and I do that shit too, because I really don't give a fuck about what people think of me or what. I mean, I want people to think good things. I feel like I do good things, but I really don't care. But that's probably not going to be the popular answer, and you're standing on that because you're admitting that you don't have the patience to raise up a family of dogs, to have a family of dogs and protect them long enough so that they can have a chance to be legendary, right? Individual greatness versus consistency, right? Oh yeah, Thompson, man. Yeah, we just got off the phone, man. Hey, that's my guy. Every time my guy hit me up, man, I swear, man, we chop it up about some issues and whatever, man. We always see what's up with each other's family, all of that, man. It's always a good time. That's how you know if it's somebody that you really rock with, because your day could have been going bad as hell, and then now it's on the up and up, and it's motivation though. We talking about some plans. I sometimes I just can't really talk about my plans with everybody, right? It got to be somebody that I'm really rocking with, man, because I think I be coming up with some with some dope shit. You know, and everybody, they're just not for you. They wish bad things about you. They wish that your program goes to shit tomorrow. Why so sad? Why so sad, man? He said, I like a family. I'm a red boy Jocko. Can't breed your own dogs. Yeah. Nah, hey, you know, red boy Jocko, if I was able to keep the red boy Jocko dogs that I had back in the day, like when I first started, you know, those dogs off of Dudley and the double bred grandson of Detlef and, you know, different stuff like that. If I was able to put some of that up and have that, I definitely would be on that ball. But with these dogs, I'm gonna tell you, it's not like in real life, like you know, we're talking about certain bloodlines. A lot of times you can miss your window of opportunity of getting that bloodline because some breeders, they go on a slump. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. You know. And with this game and the fact that the dogs have to grow up long enough, like to know it's a family of dogs. Let's say you get a dog from me today, right? And you're looking. Your goal is to create a family of legendary dogs, right? For you to find out that that piece just wasn't the right piece, or you know, like you could be years down the road. Let's say you wait 3 or 4 years to find out if that male turned out to be even worthy of breeding. Breeding an 18-month-old dog, you got to be honest with yourself, man, when you're doing this type of shit. Yeah, it could be this, it could be, but this is a gamble. There's really nothing to it, bro. We just can't really act like, you know. That's why I always clown dudes that breed those dogs young before they're a year old, 3, 4 generations of young dogs. And, you know, that's why I do that because you can't even find out if that dog is even breed worthy in 18 months. He could have some traits that you like, that you really, really like. But at the end of the day, it's still a gamble. It should be a caution before buying that particular litter, right? This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. It should be bold print. This is an experimental breeding. Yes, the pedigree is correct, but I'm just breeding this shit. I'm not gonna be telling you that this is the best this, best that, if it's just young, right? So we got 3, 4 years before we even find out if this dog is breed worthy, right? Then we breed it. Let's say we breed it 3 times. Give it a good shake. First litter, 3 pups. Second litter, 7 pups. Fourth litter, 6 pups. You feel me? You're in the game. You got some shit. You got you some shit. You're trying to raise them up. Let's say the years was, you know, the litters were between, you know, within that year. So that's 4 years. 5 right there. Then to raise those dogs up to be like, you know what? I like a lot of these dogs. Not all 16 of them, but I like a lot of them. That's a process. It shouldn't be more than 25% after you make that first breeding. It shouldn't be more than 25%. You should be judging this with intention. This isn't just, oh yeah, let me do this so I could just sell these over here and do that. And you know, this should be with intention. This should be a breeding that I'm actually analyzing. I'm real picky and real hard. Like, you know what? these dogs are not what I want to represent what my program is. So rather, if none of them worked out, I just don't think that out of 16 that it should be 12 or 13 of them that you're just keeping and they're automatically, in the program and doing all of this. I just don't think that. Just starting out. So that's going to put you back more years, right? If you got 4 of them out of that, another 4-year process, 4 or 5-year process, you're 10, 11 years in. You're 9, 10 years in. A family's not just 2 generations, though. That's the key, And I'll give you, if they came from a good family, right? If they came from some good dog, you can use that generation right there. But a family's more than 2 generations. A family of dogs, if somebody says they built them a family of dogs, there better be at least 3 or 4 generations, right? And some of the dogs, maybe not all of your dogs, but some of your dogs, right? That are good. We can say, okay, this generation, that generation, I got some half siblings over there. There's an uncle over there. There's 2 aunties. That's a family. Kids, grandkids, right? Everybody's not gonna have that, right? But social media makes it look easy. It makes it look like everybody got a family of dogs, right? Everything's easy. Everything looks easy. He said most of those pups not gonna make it. There is a cutoff point. I don't want to train. I just want to prepare hype shit. Yeah, and that's your standard. So your dogs, you're not really gonna be dealing with the ones that are slow to come around and need probably more work. You just want dogs that are turnkey, right? This dog comes with a good attitude, good traits, good everything, to where he's gonna be showing out. You got to understand, when you're a breeder, that's what it's not always going to happen. You're not always going to send somebody a dog and it's just going to blow his mind. A lot of people got a lot of other dogs. I talked to a dude the other day. He got 49 dogs. Okay? You sell him a pup or 2. He's already got stock that he feels is the best shit. Your dog is just going to be on his yard trying to earn a spot. That's what we're talking about, this low level stuff. You get these dogs and it's like, wait a minute, there's really nothing to this. It's not a family. It's not, those traits are not locked in. You don't have significant. It shows up in the wash. It's going to show up eventually. You're not going to be able to hide forever, right? Let me see. Let me get this back up on here. Get my chat going. He said, I had dogs sired by Grand Champion John Boy, Gringo, Bob, a son of Yellow, Burn, Stumpy, etc. I know the line well. Yeah, well, you know the line well. You know that the line, most of it, I say all of it, but just say most of it, because there might be a small percentage of that shit still around. But the window to buy those dogs is not today. Do you agree, Burning Star? If somebody was looking for some Red Boy Jocko dogs, are they really going to get the caliber of dogs that there were back in the day when you were getting your Burn Stumpy dogs? I had dogs directly off of Humdinger. I had dogs directly off of Ho Zeke. I had dogs directly. I mean, Dudley. That was my first bitch that I really, will put. I tattooed this bitch. Not that we ain't talking about all the other dogs I had before that with no papers and we ain't talking about that. I'll tattoo this bitch if I found a good enough picture of her. So on that level, right? This decimated, right? We could talk about Pit Island, what they still have or whatnot. If those dogs or did you miss the window on those dogs? Is right now the perfect time to get those dogs? Right? So that's when the family comes into play. That's when the family is going to be the more effective choice. That's when it's going to be the smartest choice when you're selecting your dogs. Right? You can't just be out here just burning your money. It's a lot of money. Transporters are up there, right? They're not free. Them transporters, they cost. Right? We chase hype. It's a lot of hype going with these dogs. These dogs, they don't need hype, man. He said I consider them Windy City Combine. And Windy City Combine has some really good dogs. If you were able to get enough of those to be able to continue and cultivate good dogs, I could see it happening. They had a different type of lineup though. I think they had that Devil Deacon dog. I can't remember. I know they had a little bit of Boyle's dogs and stuff too. But they had a lot of good dogs. A lot of good dogs coming up out of there. A lot of good dogs coming up off of that line. There's a good family of dogs, right? So if you had some of those and was able to create a family of those and they were good, yeah, I would definitely go for that. It would cut down on the guesswork. I know, okay, they come from a good family. You've had them, okay. You still got the dogs, right? I would want to see, some of the documents and different pictures, and from some of the old dogs that you got, maybe some handwritten pedigrees or something, just to authenticate what we're talking about here. Okay, you got some old pictures and shit. That's you looking young as hell with the fucking pinwheel hat on and shit, and you still got the dogs. They're intact. What type of person is he? Is he just a scam? What type of person is he with? Do the people that he started off with, do they still fuck with him? Right? That's what I look at too. It's like, damn, you started off with these guys. These guys is doing this and that, but they don't fuck with you no more. What happened? I will be analyzing all of this while I'm talking to you, right? And I know everybody don't got family, but when I see dudes, like when we be on the phone and whatnot, and we still make the time to interact with your kids and different things, you gotta go, the kids and shit like that. That right there, it lets me know a lot. Like I said, everybody's not gonna be a father. Everybody's not gonna have a family. I understand that. It's not a end all be all. But when I'm looking at trustworthiness, different thing, dependable, right? Those are some of the things that I highlight, right? Like this is a good guy. He's not just a dog man, right? A dog man, you got to be other shit besides a dog man. You know that, right? You know, Pedigrees tell stories. Pedigrees tell stories, man. Let me see. Lamont Grant, what up, brother? What it do? Make it happen. Smash that like button. You know what we do. Get it in. Nah, people lose them dogs. It's unfortunate, right? It's happening every single day. It's happening every single day. A lot of these dogs, that plays a big role. It does. I can't count that out. He said, I like to go to a yard where I'm getting the dog from and meet the person, helps out moving forward. Yeah. No, that does, man. You can kind of feel energy. It's like, this guy, he really ain't no bullshit type of guy. Right. I like guys that they kind of want the best in life, right? Dudes that really don't want shit in life, they tend to cut a lot of corners, right? They really don't, and it's not all about materialistics. Materialistics ain't everything. It's not. What is the biggest mistake first time breeders make? That's always a good one. Too many breedings. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. Because it's not all about the repetitious. That's why I tell you, go get that Saving Every Puppy by Alex Carter. There's a lot of info in there that you can use if you're having trouble with pups. Some of us are. Some of us are not scared to admit that if they have a litter, they're uncertain about the outcome, right? And if you are, there's definitely going to be something in that book that you didn't know, and that if you learn it, it's going to put an extra kick on your program, right? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. That sauce, man. When you see that sauce, know it. Know it. I guess you can go to Amazon and type that in too. Saving Every Puppy, a zero loss breeder's guide to whelping, survival, and control. $9.99 paperback, not a big book, but it's that guide that I'm going to read every time I get ready to do a breeding. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play around with it. Okay? It's gonna tell me the temperature my dog need to be. I ain't gonna have to guess. I ain't gonna have to ask the homie. Just because he did it this way, that way, nah, you know. I'm gonna get those years of experience packed into a small book that I can go back and use as a reference guide in order to know what's up, right? So, and that's important to know if this dog is producing. I think if you let all your puppies die, you're doing the dog a disservice, the parents a disservice, because you're really not gonna get the real deal out of what this dog is producing. Let's say only 2 puppies survive and they turn out good. See, in your mind, you're thinking, damn, I imagine if all the other ones turned out, it would have been 9 or 8 good ones instead of 2. You know, that could be true, but then you probably just got the good ones that worked out, or they're in your hands, they worked out. They probably wouldn't have worked out in another situation. A lot of that goes on. You dig? So, by you having a high success rate with raising pups, it's going to give your dogs a better chance, or it's going to give you a better chance. Fuck giving the dog a better chance. I think it'll give you a better chance of finding out if this dog is a good producer or not, because that's all that matters if you're a breeder. Right? And if you don't think so, I'll probably never buy a fucking dog from you, because you're clearly misled. You don't understand about percentages. You don't understand that I can't make 1,000 puppies in order to have 7 good dogs that we're talking about. You know, you've been in the game 40 years, and we can only talk about 3 or 4 dogs that you got. And you know, all this bullshit. If you're in the game 40 years and you're breeding the balls off of dogs, you know, 15, 20, 30 breedings with one dog, 5, 6 breedings with 10 different dogs. Like, you're breeding, bro. Year ain't even over. Got 15 breedings done. 10, 11, 9 breedings. Year's not even, it's July 1st. That's something that you do not need to do first starting out. Learn how to take care of your puppies. Do some good breedings. Sit back, analyze what the puppies are gonna be. Analyze what the offspring's turning out to be. You feel me? Fuck.
The Glock in the can of the goose. One shot knocked the fuck nigga head loose. We the truth. Teaching down every week in Roost. Your neighborhood drug lords, Patrick Morse. Meet you with the 7 while I clap the force. Started with an 8 ball and graduated. Shootouts and 1,000 shots, no exaggeration. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. Hey yo, whip the coke like a maniac. Fake Mr. Max on the Yankee hat. Supreme War report shit out to CNN. Seeing is believing, you was sleeping in. I was becoming a legend by the second. I'm like Jesus, don't ever second guess me. You tryna front like the trunk in the front. And Morton's eating fillets all month. I'm gorgeous while my waves all spun. Your pockets like a raisin in the sun. Mine's like Creflo in his prime. I'm like Gretzky with 2 9s. Boom, boom.
that APBT Magazine? Don't sleep. Get the APBT Magazine. You know what we do, man. We're keeping it lit. Keeping this shit lit, man. Keeping it lit. You know what we do, man. Come on, man. It's a network. Tap in. Join the network. Make your next move your best move. You heard that. That ain't the first time you heard that. That ain't the first time you heard that, bruh. He said there's a lot of breeding dogs. You gotta have a certain type of constitution. Yeah, you gotta have standards. That's what it is. You know, like if I was starting out, I wouldn't really worry about what the next guys are doing. I'm gonna get me some good dogs. And if they're worthy to breed, if I like them, you know, sometimes people like trash. That's why I always say I like to see what type of person it is so I can see what type of shit he likes, right? You know, even when in my diamond buying day, when I was buying diamonds and shit, you know, I had the VS1s and the SI1s and shit like that. I really wasn't on the SI2s and you know, I had a certain clarity of diamond that you see in my ear or my chain or my pinky ring or the bezel on my date just, right? If you know, you know. If you don't fucking know, you know, you never had a rollie before, then you don't know, right? And that's not everything, but that just goes to show because you could have got a whole lot more cloudy shit and the average person wouldn't have known the clarity because he doesn't know the clarity, right? He doesn't know that the white in color, yellow in color, you know, diamonds, they come in certain colors, right? So if I see somebody like that and he has these dogs that are bred amazing, these dogs are bred amazing, it'll just make me think like, wait a minute, this motherfucker only like the best shit only. He don't like hand-me-downs. He wants the best shit. Okay, okay. He said that magazine is a great read and stimulates the mind. Even have color to it for the ones with ADHD. Hey, bruh, you know, I never really thought about it like that. I'm gonna look into that, man. Elaborate too. You know, I love to hear, you know, you expound on that a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Um, so some people just like good shit, man. Right? You had the chance to get the trash. You had the chance, you know, your dude, you know he's not doing the right thing. You know he bred that young ass dog, and that, you know, now, you know, it's not the dog's fault, and you know, all, you know, oh, he acts good, yeah, for a puppy, he acts good, yeah. But yeah, if he works out, if he work out, I'm gonna keep him. You know, it's not, you know, come on, man. You're piling one excuse on top of another. One excuse turns into two excuses. Two excuses turns into four excuses. Pretty soon, you done made an excuse to keep this motherfucker. None of this content is used for illegal purposes. If you're law enforcement, go do something else with your time that's going to help the community out, help somebody in life, instead of coming over here thinking that somebody's talking illegal. Come on, man. He said, my first one out, Bob being brightly. Hey, hey, man. He said, my first turn. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, it's your first turnout. You understand me? Listen, man. Come on, man. I had to read that again, man. Look. Come on. And that speaks volumes, Craig Green. And I've been in the game. I've been in the game before. Mine didn't. You know, I probably whacked for about I can't remember. Could have been about 40 bands though. You know, could have been about 40 bands. Renegade, right? Definitely not worth. It was worth it. I was young, but you know, I think that bitch put a couple gray hairs on me. You feel me? But hey, you know, you get past all the bullshit, and you know, you elevate, and you know, you're still that dude at the end of the day. You feel me? Salute to you though. He said, I don't know where you at. He said, oh, okay, you Mike Dan. Okay. Now I'm just trying to keep up with y'all, man, in the chat, you know? Okay, I got you. He said, I'm just talking my best BS. It's all love. But the magazine isn't just info, it's facts and enlightenment. And enlightens the reader how to separate breeders with passion from the ones that want the fame or money. Oh, the fame or money. I got you. Yeah. Now we try to make it very versatile. You know, we are history, right? So when we get up here, we could talk this shit like this because you know we are history. This isn't just a fraud or you know something that we're just doing for show and tell or you know like we're a part of this. We're once you realize that, then you'll be like, you know what? Fuck, I was. It's like talking to Maurice Carver. You know, I don't know what he do off the court. You know, I don't know what he do off the court. You know, but you know, in 2026 though, right? You know, these dudes got the same ambition. Some dudes, they're gonna get in this game, and it was all about money. They're gonna hit some rough patches, and this game has a wonderful way of weeding people out, right? That's why you should always respect the guy that's been around there for a long time, especially if he has good dogs. Now, if he just been around for a long time and your dogs ain't good, then that, you know, I don't really see no reason why I should be respecting that. That's all I'm saying, right? You know, you see Buck City 10 years from now, it's like, okay, yeah, he's resilient as fuck, but them dogs ain't shit, right? Come on, man. But get that saving every puppy. I dropped the link. That book been out for a while. I think at least six to a year. I can't remember when I first they sponsored the show. I think it was I think it came out in December. But we had a little couple month sponsor on the show. I promoted it. It's been in the mags. I wasn't that consistent, so we just put it in the last couple magazines. You can go in there and hit the QR code and purchase it that way. But it's a very good book. Got a lot of good information that you could use. You feel me? Also, get that APBT magazine on Amazon. Don't forget, get on Amazon.com, get the APBT magazine. Be amazed. Be amazed. Terrence Gooch, what up, man? He said, I wish Mag all the success. The community needs a different periodical. You see. Yeah, man. It's good info. It's good info. Good info. People that been down there know it, and we want to learn this. There's new diseases out with these dogs. I think it's a type of worm that's out right now. That's just, I don't know if it hit most of the parts where we're at, but there's a monster out there. So all of the networking and us coming together, sharing ideas and experiences and actually going through this and, want to know. This ain't just a magazine. It's a movement. The American Pit Bull Terrier. Real dogs, real yards, real history. From legendary bloodlines to modern breeders, keeping the flame lit. Yard spotlights, breeding knowledge, controversy, culture. This is for the ones who walk it like they talk it. No fluff, no fakes, just dog man, dog woman, and dogs. Grab your issue now, support the culture. Because the legacy don't live online, it lives in print. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, man. This is for the guys that been in here a long time. If you had to start over today with only one male and one female, what would your strategy be? That's, I think that's, because I respect breeders that can bounce back too. You know, you could take a loss. Even hustlers in the streets, athletes coming off of big losses or injuries. You know, I think the level of resilience with a dog, man, because that's what we're talking about, dogs, is incredible, phenomenal. It shows that you're not only talking about building or talking about what you built, but you're able to do this on a consistent basis. Like your recipe, your strategy is proven it works. You're working the program. You know, that's admirable. It is, you know. But if I did that and I only had one male, one female, they're gonna be good because I don't think they said that there's no more dogs or it's gonna be two dogs coming down off of my stock, something that I put out there, safeguarded, and I'm gonna make sure, or if I can't make sure, I can keep both of those. Hopefully they're on good terms, good status. They said it's only two, so I'm just assuming that these dogs are good dogs. I'm gonna just assume, and rather if they were compatible with each other or not, I should be able to go out and make other adjustments, other breedings in order to bring some of that stock in. But I will be analyzing that stock, especially after doing outcrosses or inbreeding or line breeding or whatever it is. Um, you know, um, I will have to analyze it and make sure that it's, good enough to move forward, right? That's pretty much all we can do. Cross them with some other lines. You can't be kennel blind when you're doing this. If you're starting all over, because a lot of people do. They just want to keep their dogs, and that's end all be all. Oh, I don't want it. I'm not gonna breed it unless it's this, unless it, that's the easiest way to find some trash, bro. I'm sorry. Because the way the dogs go, the way genetics go, you really can't afford to be like kennel blind or like gung ho. You got a lot of dudes that gung ho for one line of dogs. That's it. I don't want nothing else. If it's not that, or I'm gonna keep breeding this, ain't working. It's constantly ain't working, generation after generation after generation, and you can tally each litter you make. You got tallies of dogs that didn't work out. Next litter, tally, 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 cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, cross. That's what a tally is, right? 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 dogs out of a litter that did not work out. I'm staying clear away from that, right? Some people will want it because one of them turned out to be good, and then you'll hold the mom in high regard, and all of this, and this is your shit. You're dying by this. You're a prisoner of the moment, right? I'm just saying. So you can't be kennel blind when you're building yard. I've seen that. It doesn't work. People, their pride is so involved that the dogs struggle genetically, or they just don't function properly, or they probably never did. A lot of them never did. Like, you got a line of dogs. You got dogs in your yard that never worked. Like, these dogs never worked. They never worked out. And you're going to keep pushing this shit because they got social media now, and dudes can just pop up on there and just, now all of a sudden they're this big dog guy overnight. Right? That's because they're not listening to Buck City. They're not learning what to look for. They're not, you're going to get duped. You're going to get duped, bruh. That's all I got to say. So I would look at the line closely, develop, keep my head down. I wouldn't expect things to just turn out right away. That's why I'll be keeping the majority of my offspring. Maybe place a couple just in case another rainy day happens, because you never know. These dogs are uncertain. You got to understand that. You look at your yard today and he's gone tomorrow. It's sad. They don't believe us. When we say we just want these dogs just to have them, it's for nostalgia and all this good wordplay and that, they don't believe us. We still got idiots that, think they want to be somebody. If your dogs are the biggest accomplishment that you've ever had in life, bro, that's not good. You got to be accomplished in other shit. You don't have to listen to Buck City. I'm telling you something that's going to hurt you. You got to be accomplished in other shit. I think you have to master master said hound/family before venturing out. If you run out of yard too quick, you certainly will be behind the 8 ball. Archie Fuller. Salute to you, brother. J83, what up, man? Janae Johnson, I see you. He said your female will be the traits. My male will be the form and size. Okay? I mean, everybody got, you're going to try it out. If it's going to work, if it works enough times, other people are going to mimic that. Just like line breeding and anything, half brother, half sister, we've seen that shit work. If you got a good producing dog, you do a half brother, half. I've seen that shit work, bro. I'm just saying. So when you see it work, and then you try it yourself, and it works, right? Somebody else gonna try it if it works. When things work, people mimic them. People copy them. That's why we do these breedings. That's why we're talking about inbreeding. Nobody would never talk about that if the shit never worked. We would never do it. Nobody would never do it. It'd be something that's not talked about. Right? But the fact that there's dogs that lock those right genetics in, sometimes it was luck. Sometimes it was just luck. Right? Hey, man. 4th of July is coming up. You guys be safe. I'm going to be having a get-together. And I'm going to be praying that everybody, I don't have to, that there's going to be kids and, there's going to be a lot going on. You want to make sure that everybody's safe out messing with those fireworks. Those fireworks are taking people's limbs off. Tell your kids, they taking limbs off. You don't want to be waking up missing a fucking limb. Okay? So you make sure you let everybody around you be aware of what's going on, what you popping. Because you're going to be looking like 4 extra. I'm just saying. Get that APBT Magazine on Amazon. Appreciate all the support. Volume 6 is coming together. It's going down. When you get that volume 6 in there, that's an immediate game changer. I'm going to try to make volume 6 the best. I just, I'm from the 206, and I'm going to try to make this one the best so far. It's going to have a lot of stuff that we've been missing. A lot of stuff that we've been missing on a lot of these other ones. It's going to be packed with it. So, we're just trying to figure it all out. But the support, everything, all the other interviews and everything that been coming in, everybody been sending them interviews in. I love it. Man, William Torres, what up, brother? Riley Shirt Company, what up? Hey, throwing up a permanent peace sign. I'm telling you, man, and fireworks, telling you. Khadijah Farrakhan. Oh, man, R.I.P. You got 4 less fingers. You don't want to, blow your hand off, them fireworks. I used to hear that. Just like, oh, you blew your hand off, But until you actually see it, and yeah, still, they got enough power, they can really, you be looking at your hand 1 second, and then you be looking at blood the next second, and your hand will be gone. So, just be careful. Don't let the kids out there, just because you wasn't telling people to be careful. We're going to be drinking and everything. I'm going to get on that grill. Get some good ribs, and I'm going to marinate some chicken for I might do the 48-hour marinating. I mean, I'm going to have it going. It's going to be going. Put it in there. And we're going to have a good time. I hope everybody else just do what they going to do. Clifton behind enemy lines. What up, brother? Salute to you. But, from APBT Magazine front office, enjoy the 4th. I'm going to be back up on here, though. And then I got a special one for Sunday. I'm going to try to line it up on Sunday. Got another special one. So you guys got to stay tuned when we do these type of things and go back and replay all of that. Let me put that saving every puppy in there. $10. You know, you can't. Your puppy should be worth more than that. I'm just saying. You know, this will take you from you have 10 puppies and only raise 3 or 4 to raising 8 or 9 or 10, getting all of them. So, because you know what's going on, you know what to do right away, you know what to do when the mom's about to drop, you know what temperature she's gonna get to, you know the temperature of the puppies, you know how to check the temperature and keep the, if it's too cold to have them outside at that time, when it's safe to, you're knowing everything you need to know, right? It's not guesswork. You might only have 2 puppies. She might only gave you 2. And that's her last litter. And you thought you knew every fucking thing, but you didn't have the right setup, or you didn't have this, or you didn't do this, and the puppies got sick, or you didn't do that, you didn't do this, So that's what that little short book is for. So you can stay on point. I dropped that link. Archie Fuller, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll be popping up. I'm so used to doing long streams that I don't even be bothering. Like, if I could just pop up for like 20, 30 minutes, I don't be bothering. So if y'all gonna pop up, hit the like button, splash with me, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? We'll get on some topics, engaging in that chat. That makes every show good when everybody's engaging in the chat, and we can kind of not just have a poppin' chat, but, we interacting with it, answering questions. And, even if they stupid questions, whatever. Should ask me anything about the dogs. I'm probably gonna know it, or could get the research and get it going right away. I heard about it, or I done forgot more shit. So tap in. The like button's free. See you on the next one.
say I will, but I really won't. Thoughts going back and forth, so I need to smoke. I believe I don't. Had too many fears, only two. It's the me, God, and leave my daughter here. Out looking, so I'm looking down at my life. Sorta like a guardian angel of Jesus Christ. I called my dad last night, I needed advice. Had a convo about when your feelings ain't right or ain't feeling right. Can't let my life go downtown like pipe. Let there be light. Gotta pedal through life like I'm on a bike. Mama never raised no punk, so I gotta fight. Yeah, I'm trying to build my dynasty. Soon I can leave Rihanna with my legacy. Like I'm on the court and the whole crowd's looking. I never been a quitter, so I'ma keep pushing.
Uh-oh, I'ma keep doing me. I gotta do what's best for me. Uh-oh, I'ma keep being strong. I gotta make it out, I've been waiting too long. Uh-oh, I'ma keep doing me. I gotta do what's best for me. Uh-oh, I'ma be strong. I gotta make it out, I've been waiting too long.
Long awaited, but I grind for it. I'm trying to get my planets and put them in orbit. I'm on some new shit, out with the old. I need the platinum, but I will settle for gold. I'm trying to feed my life up. Million nigga, but haters still try to knock 'em. I need money all the time. Get down for the cake and a nickel per dime. Nickels in them dimes, adding up to dollars. Whip older than me, 6'4" Impala. This can happen and that can too. Remember, make the money and don't let it make you. And life changes like mood swings. With that said, I'm open my eyes to new things. I'ma keep doing me, do you pimpin'? I'ma keep doing bad cause it's so tempting.
Uh-oh, I'ma keep doing me. I gotta do what's best for me.